If someone is looking to build an app, what makes them want to use Digia over another tool?
If you want to create something faster, there are a couple of ways which are better than us, which solves the 0 to 1 problem. We come specifically at 1 to 10. That is the specific problem of scaling.
And do you have any ARR right now?
So in terms of USD, we are near 100k dollars.
Do you know how many users these apps have accumulated?
So we have crossed 3 million.
Today on the Kuiper Media Show, we have Anupam Singh from Digia. How are you?
I'm really good.
Could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay. So I'm Anupam. I'm currently co-founder of Digia. I've been developing mobile apps since 2012. It's fair to say I like to develop mobile applications. Before starting Digia, I was part of a leading company in India, which went to IPO also, and I used to lead mobile applications there. And there I learned something which is very unique to mobile apps with scale. As you grow more than 50k to 100k users, it becomes very difficult to reach your customers, because every time you develop something, you have to build an APK and an IPA, upload on Play Store and App Store, and then wait for your users to adopt. We solve that internally at Urban Company, and that is what I'm trying to solve for everybody in the world today at Digia. That's a brief about me.
That's really interesting. So, how long specifically have you been working on Digia?
So it's been more than 2.5 years now. So we started at the back end of 2023. Currently, we are 3 years in, third year into our journey.
And do you have any ARR right now?
So in terms of USD, we are near 100k dollars.
What does your team look like today?
Today, so we are three co-founders. Me, Tushar, who leads our tech. Then there is Vivek, who leads our product and platform. Then there are 6 engineers who work on the platform. There are 2 engineers who work on integrations, who work with our clients. And there are 1 guy is in content, who creates content about Digia, and 1 guy is in design. So that is how our current teams look like.
Well, that's exciting that your team's been able to grow from the 3 co-founders to onboarding more and more people. When you were starting in the beginning and you were getting your co-founders, how did you guys all come together?
So we all have worked at Urban Company. We have all worked for more than 6 years together at our previous organization. I used to lead customer mobile application for Android. Tushar used to lead iOS. And Vivek actually joined my team first at Android. Then he eventually evolved towards leading mobile app infra at Urban Company, and then backend infra at Urban Company. So we have worked together for more than 6 years in a close knit, doing podcast every day. We also used to do a fun podcast back in our day.
How do you market right now?
In terms of market, there are 2 strategies that we use. One is, can we reach to head of product or head of technologies through a warm intros, being top down? That is first. So that we do through people who we know, who connect with people who we want to know. That is strategy number 1. And second, we try to bring awareness in the market, which is us being present at various developer first events like DroidCon. We sponsor them and we onboard various developers from there. And through there, normal developers and engineering leaders also come on our platform, and then they graduate towards becoming our customers.
So, if someone is looking to build an app, what makes them want to use Digia over another tool?
Fair enough. So we are not a creation optimized tool. So if you want to create something faster, there are a couple of ways which are better than us. One is Claude Code is much more better than us. Then there are other tools like Bubble and Flutterflow, which solves the 0 to 1 problem. We come specifically at 1 to 10. So once your first release is out and you have crossed 50k customers, how do we reach those customers much faster? That is the specific problem of scaling which DJ solves. So we have an SDK very similar to Firebase, which integrates into existing mobile applications, and then developers gets to decide, hey, I want to do this in high code manner, which is something that I used to do earlier, or leveraging Digia, which is something that I want to experiment much faster. Use cases like your home screen, your marketing screens, those are the primary use cases that people use us for, because these are the screens who have a natural tendency of being experimented much faster, much quicker. A normal way of doing through the existing ways does not suffice. And that is where exactly we come in. Hey, build something using Digia, press publish, and it is there to your customers. You don't have to create another IPA, another APK. So that is the problem of 1 to 10 that we solve.
And it's a global app.
It's a global app development platform, yes. So we have customers in States, we have customers in Europe, we have customers in India, and we are expanding in Singapore and UAE. All. So it can be used anywhere, whoever is developing their mobile application in any part of the world.
And how are you funding your app?
Sure. So when we started, all three founders, so we put in our own money for the first year. And that is how we started to get everything, the basics right, getting the laptops, getting the office setup, etc. And after a year, we did our first round, per se, first angel round, and we raised money from the market, and that is how we are currently running.
Are you currently still looking for funding?
So we have a larger round planned in 2026, yes.
When you guys were building Digia, what was the biggest challenge you guys faced?
Biggest challenge, okay, so building something and selling something in enterprise is absolutely very different. So we all three were builders, me, Tushar, and Vivek. So building something good which works was something that we had in our control. But when we went out in the market, we had to understand, okay, how does fintech companies work? What are the workflows that they care about? How does e-commerce companies work? What are the workflows they care about? Example, fintech cared about deep unit testing, much deeper. Everything has to be automated. Every release, even though it was server driven, had to go through a very deep analytics, and the report has to be presented, because that is how fintech industry works. When we started working with e-commerce companies, we realized they care about notifications and deep links much more than their normal workflows, because their marketing spend is very higher in influencer marketing, and they want to bring customers directly from those social media platform and land them deeper in their journey. So those kind of deeper workflows which these companies care about, and then building them on the platform, apart from building enterprise first features like, hey, we want everything backed on Git, we want everything to be secure, we want everything to be let's say role based, those kind of things that we didn't preempt, and luckily we had good design partners using which and solving for those, we were able to take this journey of how do we become enterprise ready, because building something for enterprise versus selling them was entirely different ball game that we learned.
And how are you using AI today?
Sure. In AI, so we also have a AI flavor of, can somebody come and say, hey, build me an home screen like Airbnb? That is simple prompt, let's say you want to execute. So we currently use AI to solve for cold start. A, by prompting, soon if I have something on Figma or XYZ design platform, can I use those and sync my values of design system quickly from there? That is the second use case that we have unlocked. And third use case is us becoming completely agentic. That is what we are working internally in 2026. So DJ is going to be completely agentic in 2026. That is the journey that we are taking.
That's really cool. And just to clarify, so did you say that people could take Figma designs and your software, you can use AI to automatically put those into their apps? Is that what you were saying?
Yes, we are actually releasing that in January itself. We take designs systems, the token value that designers create, we embed that, have the same one-on-one sync in our system. Second is we take components and create those so that cold start is solved. And then when people have created deeper flows in Figma also, screens, pages by pages. So we create those, bring them on Digia. So now developer can only worry about, hey, what are the APIs that I want to call, what are the right binding which needs to exist for these components, and what is the workflow that I want to execute screen by screen. And they don't have to worry about, hey, going through the, hey, I want to create a button again, I want to create these tokens again. All those problems are solved.
What is your long-term strategy, growth strategy?
Okay. So in terms of long-term growth, because we are doing a category creation, in a way, people are not used to do build mobile application like we do. Major companies like Airbnb, LinkedIn, Snapshot of the world do it. We are in a way democratizing this way for everybody else. But this also means it is category creation. And category creation, first job of category creator is to bring awareness in the market. Because if you don't bring enough awareness, nobody is going to buy. So our first couple of years have been on awareness. We are going to continue on doing awareness initiative a lot uh, in upcoming years. But then we want to have deeper mobile app development level workflows. So this is how we imagine DJ to evolve. So everything about that SDLC of mobile app development, from starting from step one, which is, hey, I want my designs. That is step one. Then, hey, I want my mobile app. That is step two. Hey, then I want to release my mobile app. That is step three. Hey, I want to analyze what is happening on my mobile app. That is step four. And hey, I want to experiment on my mobile app. That is step five. So that is how the product will evolve and have different smaller products as hooks to solve for each of these problems independently, and then eventually tying them up in the horizontal stack. That is how we see our product, and that is how I see our awareness journey evolving. Apart from this, there are various business initiatives. There are four core ways to scale an enterprise business. First is warm intros that I've already talked about. We're building cold outreach engines, which is having various different workspaces on email, which will go and in a way cold communicate to leaders that we want to communicate. Then second engine of us creating useful content for our listeners and or for people who simply want to solve a problem in their mobile application journey, so that they trust us more. So that is the awareness and trust part. That is those kind of content that we're going to write a lot to help the system without asking something in return. And at the end, we also are going to execute very targeted ads. It's called as account based marketing. We're going to do account based marketing so that we can onboard our leaders much faster. So those are the four ways that we're going to execute on business, solving for entire stack in our product, and then doubling down on spreading awareness. So that is how we see DJ growing, at least in upcoming many years.
Sounds like a good plan. Do you know how many apps were created on Digia?
Okay, so last year was good for us. We onboarded more than, uh, I guess, upward of 7,000 developers across the world, and they created apps. I don't remember the absolute number, but they created around, if they created around last I checked was around 600 active projects. There were 600 active projects by these guys. So this means these are mature projects. We don't count projects which are not mature. We only count these mature projects. So let's say if you come on the platform, press couple of projects, we don't count those. So we count only, hey, if somebody has built screens. So there were 600 mature projects, and out of those, 12 companies, there were 12 serious companies who used our platform in different capacity, either to power a component or a page or entire flow on production. So that is how we see, and that is where we are today.
Wow, that's exciting. 600 apps is huge. Do you know how many users these apps have accumulated?
Yes, that is a metrics we deeply track. So we have crossed 3 million.
Wow.
We have
That's
crossed 3
amazing.
million.
What advice could you give to somebody that's building their first app?
First app, so don't do one of the mistakes that we did. So an app building something is only makes sense if somebody is asking for it. Okay, if there is a genuine problem which gets solved, because building is much easier than actually solving a problem. So that is the fundamental way to think about building an app. So don't build an app just for the sake of it. Example, your app can solve a simple problem. I was reading about it yesterday itself. Okay, we all have alarm clocks in our phone, right? But there is an app called as a louder alarm clock because some people need loud alarm clock. So that guy built a very simple alarm clock app which was simply louder. And if you go on Play Store and App Store, you can search louder alarm clock. That guy's app will pop up, and he is making more than let's say 500k USD as of today from that app because it solves a very simple problem for many people who are in the market. So spend time on researching the market more. There are tools that people can use to understand what is the market. And when I say market, it is more about what people are already looking for. Uh, it is very different if you're doing category creation like us, because you need to have a very deeper insight after spending some time in domain. But if you're trying to build something new, nobody needs another note taker app, very simply put. So you need to understand what are these keywords. Go on tools like SEMrush, keyword people use, understand what people are already looking for on Reddit, on Twitter, on Play Store, how are they searching on Play Store and App Store, and what is the current trend on Google, and let's say for now on LLMs also. Only after analyzing all these, then decide what people are actually looking for and what are they willing to pay. Only after these two questions are checked, then only build something. Before that, you can simply share about it. Okay, hey, I'm going to build this. Are you looking for a solution or not? uh, Work with people, even if there are 4 or 5 people who might need that solution, but work with people who need something first and they are willing to pay. If you don't jot down those two primary research categories, your app per se will not scale. You will have a good side project. So if your incentive is to, hey, I want to build some a good side project, it's absolutely okay. But if you want to build something out of it and you are going to commit, let's say I'm going to commit 3 years or 4 years or even more of my life, solve for these building blocks and first principles first before you write single line of code. That is what my advice would be.
That's great advice. Uh, what are the biggest mistakes teams make when they're trying to adopt server driven UI, and how can they avoid them?
Sure thing. So for us at server driven UI, if you simply go and research, this is a journey that companies take, as I said earlier, once they cross some amount of users. So developers often tend to make a mistake of, hey, this is only JSON coming from backend and components are coming from a backend. It works in demos, but that is not how a serious business works. And that one-on-one mapping of components and JSON hydration from backend simply breaks on production. So a real JSON driven system, a real server driven UI system like us, and there might be few others in the market, needs deeper contracts, needs versioning, needs observability, it needs a capability to roll back, it needs a capability to test it automatically. It also needs deeper product integration, like can we control state from backend? Can we write rule engine from backend? And can we integrate with existing native code or not? Only if you do this, it will add value to a production grade system. Else, it will simply be a side project. So that is the primary mistake I have seen people doing.
Apps built on Digia, how are they taking payments? Are you guys integrated with like Revenue Cat or Superwall?
So yes, because we are also an SDK like Firebase, so we ourselves get integrated into an existing GitHub project, and we work on IO operation. You give us something, you can expect back something, so you can integrate whatever you can imagine. So we don't directly do it ourselves. We are India based, so there are solutions like PayU, Razorpay, which works well in India. There are a couple of companies who are using us in states, so they use Stripe. So those SDKs exist independently. Imagine you open your app, your home screen was powered natively. You click on a pay button. On that pay button, before that pay button, there was a payment screen which was powered through Digia, where you showcase all your payment option. And the moment you press pay, That is when a callback will be received natively. You will open your XYZ payment SDK, you will do your payment, and once that payment is done, callback will receive back. It will come to Digia back, and the workflow will update. And if the journey continues in Digia, it will continue. If it goes back to native, it will goes back to native. So that is how we currently work. Developers are free to use whatever payment SDK that they want. Uh, yes.
Why do mobile teams still treat app releases as the unit of progress? And what actually breaks when you stop doing that?
Okay. Uh, so historically, imagine that. So I was also a developer previously. Um so we used to think of, hey, we want to release something as a big checkpoint per se. Hey, Tuesday releasing is going out. Hey, XYZ day, XYZ flow is about to go out, and we put it all our energy for that XYZ day. um, all our experiments, all our UI, everything for that day, and we bundle everything in a binary, either in APK or IP. And in our mind, it was a psychological shift. In our mind, we used to think, hey, once I release, my job is done.
Okay.
That
And
is the primary thing that people used to think like. And that mindset was not right.
in an AI first vibe coding world, what fundamentals should mobile engineers still never skip, especially when building for scale?
Okay. Um, so if you're a mobile app engineer, you should care about how rendering pipeline works, irrespective of the platform that you work on, be it Android, be it iOS, be it Flutter, be it React Native. That is step number one. You need to be good at doing state management. You need to become good at analyzing performance, and you need to become damn good at debugging, because with vibe code it's very easier now to build something, but that AI output is not humanly optimized, not for readability, not for execution. It works, it is not optimized for humans. So what happens is, if you push that on production, and if something breaks, and God forbid you didn't pay attention to how you built it, because something will break. And if you're not good at debugging, if you're not, how do I say, paid your dues in terms of understanding how things are actually built, you will not be able to debug things on production. And this is what we have seen, especially with the new people that we want to hire. We go in our journey, and we spend time on to understand, are they able to debug things or not. So they can use AI to generate things much faster. But when these things break, does the person is deeply technical enough that they can debug it? That is the primary parameter that we use today to hire anybody also at DJ. And as system scales, imagine writing code is not a problem anymore. Even bigger companies have their 30% to 40% code being shipped through AI. It's understanding the system, because uh, shipping something on production is not about just writing code. It is about, do I own this piece or not? Do I understand how does it impacts my business or not? Do I understand it enough? How does it fit into my mobile app journey? And how is it executed? How does it interface with everything else? And that is a person who understands it and works with other person. So they need to be technical, they need to understand these workflow. If you skip these two part and simply trust, hey, I'll vibe code this out of it, it is a good leverage lever to ship something, but it is not something how production mature companies work, not at all. To understand your basics, understand how people workflows work, and understand how app workflows works well. Don't skip all those three. That will be my advice.
I totally understand how these different skills are extremely useful now. But do you see in a few years, with vibe coding and AI improving, that these skills will become obsolete ever, or do you think that you will always need to know how to debug code?
Especially in debugging, I'll believe there will be specific roles of people who are very good at debugging. Debugging itself will become more and more valuable as we go deeper in our AI adoption journey around the world. Uh, because debugging is not something as of today AI is good at. As of today, there might be a future that it will become much better at it, but it will be somebody who understand what is breaking on production, because AI will not get those feedbacks automatically and not execute those automatically. That is not how a mature company will work. So people who understand those workflows, what is exactly broken, and then they might use themselves or might use AI to solve it. But it will always be people who understand what is breaking, uh, to 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 treat a good anomaly. Today, if I talk about a simpler example, Coca-Cola as a company has various factories and who produce gazillions amount of cokes every day, but they only have 18 people or 20 people on those factories. Why do they these 18 or 20 people? Because if something breaks on production, which is their production pipeline, everything is technically automated for them. It needs somebody who understands the entire workflow and take those conscious actions and being responsible for those actions. And that is what debugging in production is. So you will always need those specialized 18 to 20 people, even if you're shipping a billion line of codes a day. So AI debugging, there might be a simple career, which is people who are paid insane amount just because they can debug anything that is there.
How do you get your knowledge today? Are you self-taught? Do you favorite book, podcasts, mentors?
Sure. So I consume information. So there are category of information which is important to me. Example for AI, I self learn using reading papers and free courses which are out there in the world through from Google, OpenAI, etc. That is about AI. In terms of my domain, I am a fair to say I'm a domain expert. So I've spent decent amount of time understanding the breadth, but keep learning what is coming new by, let's say, being updated with release notes of all the platforms: React Native, Flutter, Android, and iOS. That is my raw source of knowledge. And then following good people on Medium. Medium is my primary way of reading things. And then I'm fairly active on LinkedIn. No, I'm not very good at X today. I'm active on these platforms because to understand what the market is behaving, what people are caring about, what are they, not what is working and what is not working in the market. So I treat those platforms as my source of market. So that is the breadth I use to keep myself updated. Apart from being a boring guy, I read newspaper every single morning in finance.
That's excellent. For our listeners today, we'd like to ask our guests if they can give something away from their advice to time or something within the app. So I'm going to ask you if there's something that you could offer to our listeners.
Okay. So, hey, if you're an app owner who's running a mobile first business and you have more than 10k users, so I'm happy to sit and work with you for an hour to more to understand how can you scale faster. So you have solved for a problem of creation. I'm happy to give 60 minutes to anybody who has more than 10k to help them set up systems so that they can scale to 10k to 100k users and then maybe further. That is step number one. And especially for everybody out there who is listening to this podcast, if you go on Digia and type Kuiper cross Digia, we'll put that code in our show notes also. On checkout, you will get 3 months free of Digia so that you can see how you can ship things without sending things on Play Store and App Store for yourself using Digia. So those are two things I'm happy to offer.
That's very generous. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So thank you for your time today. How could our listeners find you on social media, find your company? Where can they go?
Sure. So LinkedIn, as I said, is my primary platform. So I'm Anupam Singh 0211 there. Same handle is there on X also, Anupam Singh 0211. And on LinkedIn and on X, you can simply type Digia Studio. That is our primary product. And with that name, you will find a company and you will find our platform very easily. Or you can simply go on digia.tech, which is our website, and everything is there.
Thank you for that. Please follow Kuiper Media as well. We thank you for your time today and stay tuned. Thank you.
want an AI ad for your business?
Kuiper Media makes ads just like this.
Book a free call with us from the link below